and it is delightful to watch. Year 17, let's try something new. Listen, he has played the point as a point forward and the orchestrator of offenses throughout his career. Like, let's not, no, even he play with Kyrie, it doesn't matter. Like, he still is the guy that's orchestrating things. But this year, if you've been watching the games, and I know, Vinny, you've watched all of them, I've watched all of them, I know you've watched most of them, it's different. He is truly playing point guard. He is deferring more than I've ever seen him defer, especially early in basketball games. His field goal attempts are down, and part of that might be because right now his shot is a little off. He's shooting like 31% from three. But he is doing what the best point guards in the league do, which is not only running the offense and controlling the offense, but finding the guys that need to get the ball in rhythm. Finding the guys, okay, Kuz just came into the game. He's had a rough start to the year. Let me find him, get him involved. Avery Bradley hasn't gotten a shot yet. Let me set something up for him. Danny Green is posted up in the corner as he loves to be. Let me draw the defense and kick to him. I don't know the argument to be made right now through 10 games that he hasn't been the best point guard in the league. Now, I don't consider, just so we're on the same page here, I don't consider Harden the point guard. Okay. Agreed? Like, I mean, I understand he has been in the, but they got Chris Paul to play point. Russ plays point. So let's remove Harden from the discussion. LeBron's clearly been the best point guard. He's leading the league in assists, and his team's got the best record. And it's been very fun to watch because I actually think when LeBron's in year 20, that's going to be his full-time position. I don't think it's all of a sudden he's going to go down on the post. I think he's going to go more further away from the basket because that court vision and the passing is never going to go away even as the athleticism wanes. So, yes, of course, clearly he's been the best point guard in basketball.
I think he's like a reverse Magic, basically, where Magic started off being more point guard and his career went down. And, and basically when he came back in 96, he was a point forward. And when he took the Lakers to the finals in 91, that slow-down team, that's what I compare this version of LeBron to, is the master orchestrator, basically playing the game at his own pace because he can't play that fast pace anymore. So the best way to control the pace is to be the guy bringing the ball off the court and to make sure that we're getting into our sets early as opposed to initiating it from that position. But, Nick, no. I'm not going to say he's the best point guard in basketball right now. Look.
So who is?
Look, and I won't even say that you're wrong, but I will enter two names into the discussion. Luka Doncic is playing excellent basketball right now. I love him so much. He's nearly averaging a triple-double, 28, 10, and 9. Yep. Okay? For a Dallas Mavericks team that does not have Anthony Davis, that has Kristaps Porzingis playing
poorly,
very poorly,
and
that team is nowhere near what we thought they were going to be from a talent standpoint. He's carrying them. Now, I don't know exactly how much greater he can be than what he is right now. I think he's pretty much the closest thing to a polished,
he don't have to be that much better to be an MVP candidate.
Exactly. Look, 30, 10, and 10 is pretty damn impressive in itself. And a second guy that I'm going to bring up, his team is playing under 500 right now, but Damian Lillard averaging 32, 6, and 5 for a Portland Trailblazers team that's a little underachieving right now, Nick. You cannot dismiss that type of game.
Listen, Luka he's my adopted Slovenian son. I love him so much.
So wait, like you are my adopted basketball son.
Exactly.
Okay, so
right,
Jenna, you asked me if I have kids.
It's just
There's
me.
one.
Just me. I think I might be older than Vinny, but it's just me. I love Luka. There was once upon a time I was sending you Luka Doncic videos 3 years ago when he was playing as a 16-year-old in EuroLeague. He's unbelievable. I love him. And Lillard continues to be one of the more underrated players in the league. And by the way, the guy who Luka was traded for, Trae Young, is having one hell of a season. However, here's what is not going to happen. What's not going to happen is, for the better part of 5 years, LeBron's whole time in Cleveland and his first year with the Lakers, no matter how overwhelming his offensive numbers were, if people wanted to discredit him, what did they say? Well, what about that defense? Even though he was still one of the best on-ball defenders in the world every year, well, his off-ball defense and the team defense. What's not going to happen is now, when the Lakers are the best defense in basketball, when LeBron, according to the nerdy advanced defensive stats, is a top 5 defender at his position or any position, top 5 defender in the league, that we are going to include Luka Doncic Damian Lillard or the guy I brought up, Trae Young, because Luka is a minus defender. Dame is a minus defender. Trae will always be a minus defender, not his fault.
And LeBron is a minus shooter, and all of those other guys aren't. LeBron is shooting 27% between 16 feet and out. That is not good. When he was at his height in Miami, he shot 45% from 16 feet. Now, that's the free throw line and out. He is basically, at this point, more of a finisher on the inside, even though he's operating the offense from the outside.
Right,
to be in this game, Nick, this game is a shooting game now. You have to be able to shoot, and LeBron is not a plus shooter anymore. That is what I'll give you.
Listen, that is, I feel like you are getting a little ahead of yourself saying LeBron's not a plus shooter anymore. He has not been a plus shooter thus far this season. And if you think it's going to stay like that the rest of the year, maybe off the air we can make a little wager about what the percentages will land at, because right now he's at 31% from three. Here's guessing he ends closer to 35% from three. Now, the thing I thought you were going to bring up was the free throws. And last night, the free throws all of a sudden reared their ugly head again in a game that was nip and tuck throughout, and he has to get those at least partially right. But there is not, if we are being honest, the Mavericks or the Blazers, if they had the opportunity for this season to flip out at point guard LeBron James for Luka or LeBron James for Dame, they would do that in a heartbeat. Year 17, 56,000 minutes or not.
It's a lot of work, though, for LeBron James. Is that sustainable? Do you think he can do that? Are the Lakers asking him to do too much every night?
I think bringing the ball up the floor, Nick, is going to be something that wears on him throughout the rest of the season. And I know you think it's probably something really simple and really easy, but when you stick those point guards on him, those defensive guys, and say, hey, we're going to turn you around 94 feet from the rim, and you have to initiate offense late, I think that's something that's going to wear on him. Year 17, you're absolutely right. You're going to have to find ways to spell him during the games, spell him during the season, so that he's at his best later in the season and later in games. Nick, you cannot discount that. The numbers look good, but you have to look big. You have to look big picture, I think, as far as LeBron and as far as this Lakers team, not just Anthony Davis.
Listen, the workload is obviously unprecedented. He's at 46,000 regular season minutes, 10,000 playoff minutes. Only Duncan, Dirk, Kobe, Kareem, and Karl Malone ever played more combined minutes in their careers. Luckily, we have the greatest athletic specimen in the history of the world on our hands here, so none of the old standards matter. None of them. Like, we saw a Warriors team go to 5 straight finals, unprecedented aside from LeBron, in the modern basketball era. And now all of them are broken. They're all broken. LeBron went to 8 straight finals, and then that finally wore on him to where his groin pops. And you know what that groin pop did? It allowed him to recuperate and rest and prepare for the next handful of consecutive finals he's about to go to. So when you say they need to rest him, he did. That's what last season ended up being. That's what the extended offseason that he hasn't had since he was 24 years old allowed him to do. So, of course, he can keep this up all year because he's LeBron James. No one else in the history of the sport could, but he can. That's what makes him different.
Last point, Nick. You said that he's a top 5 defensive player in basketball.
Right now.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Does that keep up for the rest of the year? Because you said the shooting will improve, and that's a 10-game sample size.
No, I think he'll probably slip to like top 12.
I just want to make sure that you're not using arguments and being completely inconsistent with your standards.
I don't think
you would never do that.
I don't think it'll stay top 5. I think it'll slip to around top 12.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.